Everything I do, from what I eat to when I sleep, to my recovery, to my loved ones, everything's consistent.
Why are people calling Shai a prince of offense? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has emerged as one of NBA's most dynamic and difficult to defend players. His unique combination of skills and other factors make him a nightmare for opposing defenses. Let's get into it all. What creates Gilgeous-Alexander's offensive brilliance is his exceptional control over pace and timing. Unlike players who rely primarily on explosive speed, Gilgeous-Alexander excels at manipulating the tempo of his movements to keep defenders off balance. His ability to start and stop with perfect timing is something else, allowing him to create separation in ways that are difficult to anticipate. So, he usually appears to be resetting or sizing up his defender. That's his build-up, and seconds later, he would suddenly explode past them exactly when they least expect it. This constant hesitation and unpredictability in his movements make it nearly impossible for defenders to establish a rhythm against him. He can seamlessly transition from a slow, probing dribble into a quick run towards the basket, leaving his opponents to eat dust. One of Gilgeous-Alexander's signature moves is his between-the-legs dribble combined with a sudden acceleration. What makes this particularly effective is that it's not a separate move followed by a drive, but one fluid motion. As he builds momentum, he leaves the zone of defenders before they've even registered that he's made his move. Smart, right? His ability to change speeds isn't just about going faster. What he's equally adept is suddenly decelerating, which comes as a surprise to the defender's positioning. This skin allows him to create space for pull-up jumpers or change direction and drives, keeping his options open as he attacks the basket. Once this man gets past the initial line of defense, his exceptional finishing ability comes into play. His length, creativity, and body control allow him to score around and overhelp defenders in ways that few other players can match. He has a remarkable precision for using angles to his advantage, often releasing the ball from unexpected positions. This makes it extremely difficult for shot blockers to time their jumps correctly as well. But does he finish? His length is a key factor in his finishing ability. Gilgeous-Alexander stands tall at a huge 1.98 meters and can extend his arms to reach around defenders or adjust his release point to avoid blocks. He's not afraid to initiate contact, often using his body to create space before stretching out for a layup or floater. One more of his most impressive skills is his ability to improvise and adjust in mid-air. If his initial path to the basket is cut off, he can quickly switch hands, alter his body angle, or find a creative way to get the ball to the rim. This brilliant adaptability makes him a constant threat even when the defense seems to have him contained. Even though he's primarily looking to finish near the floor, Gilgeous-Alexander is also a deceptively quick vertical leaper off 2 feet. His jump off the floor are so efficient in terms of both height and strategy that it easily allows him to finish over the top of contests or draw fouls by initiating contact in the air. What are his regular moves though? One of his most effective moves is the bump back mid-range jumper. He can be found to usually drive towards the basket, use his strength to bump the defender off balance, then quickly step back into a jump shot. Imagine a guy trying to defend this combination of footwork with deception. Good luck, buddy. Talking precisely of his footwork, his ankle flexibility is a key component. Gilgeous-Alexander is somehow able to plant his feet at extreme angles without much history of injury. This simply allows him to shift his momentum rapidly in any direction and also to string together complex combinations of moves that break the walls of defenders. What is also equally impressive is his balance. He can maintain control of his body even when leaning at severe angles or changing directions at high speeds. This allows him to stay on his feet through contact and finish plays that would cause most players to lose their balance. Again, wonder what the condition of poor defenders must be when they leave him aside thinking he's going to fall. Worse is, if he also scores from there. There is nothing more humiliating for a defender than being able to guess where the player is going to go, and it looks like Gilgeous works for it. Maybe this man plans and thrives exactly on such mistakes. Is that all? He's a threat from all 3 levels of the court and has multiple go-to moves from each area. In the paint, he combines his length, touch, and creativity to finish in style. He uses an area of floaters, scoops, and finger rolls that he deploys depending on the defensive coverage. His ability to adjust in midair and use either hand makes him unpredictable even when he is in close quarters. Let's talk about some stats. From mid-range, Gilgeous-Alexander's pull-up game is lethal. In the 2022-23 season, he shot 48.3% on mid-range jumpers, placing him in the 89th percentile among guards. His ability to stop suddenly and rise up for jumpers is reminiscent of Chris Paul in his prime. What he's basically doing is that he's changing the course of a game in one move and turning it into another direction altogether. The defenders are left to do nothing but watch him score. Even though three-pointers aren't his primary weapon, he's still dangerous from deep and shot at 34.5% and 2.5 attempts per game last season. His off-the-dribble three-point percentage of 35.5% is still ranked higher than noted sharpshooters like Damian Lillard, which is 34.6%, and Trae Young, who is 33.4%. Moreover, his average of 1.5 post-up points per game in 2022-23 makes him rank third among guards behind only DeMar DeRozan and Luka Doncic. Against smaller defenders, it's easy for him to use his 180-pound frame to back them down, creating space for short turnaround jumpers or hooks. Not getting jumpy here, but his post footwork does remind of Kobe Bryant, allowing him to spin either direction or fake his defender out of position. In fact, his 1.12 points per possession on post-ups ranked in the 93rd percentile in the entire history of the league. An often overlooked but crucial part of Gilgeous-Alexander's offensive game is his ability to draw fouls. He averaged nearly 11 free throw attempts per game last season, ranking third in the NBA behind only Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid. It is indeed safe to say that Gilgeous-Alexander has mastered the art of creating contact in ways that force officials to make calls. But these are all stats. How does it translate on the court? These stats are not just history, but he seems as if he's getting better with time. He shot over 90% on free throw last season, making him one of the most efficient foul drawers in NBA history. For any team to have a player of his stature and stats, who they know can be relied on to convert valuable points, is nothing less than special. Underpinning all of these said physical skills is his decision-making ability, because at the end of the day, he's not playing for himself but for the team. All this doesn't matter if it doesn't perform for the team and on the court. The question then is, does he have the mental capacity to execute the skills? His innate sense of when to attack, when to pull back, and how to manipulate defenses create many advantages. Not only is he aggressive when he requires, but is patient in his approach, probing defenses and waiting for the right moment to strike. He's always scanning the court, reading defenders, and anticipating rotations. This allows him to make split-second decisions on whether to shoot, drive, or pass. All that is discussed are his half-court abilities. For any team, these are in fact the perfect combo that any team is looking for from a player. He is tall, strong, and menacing. He has simply got all it takes to make nothing less than a dream player than teams want in their offense. While no player is truly impossible to guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander somehow comes remarkably close. His combination of skills, intelligence, and adaptability make him a unique challenge for even the best defenders in the NBA. As he continues to develop and refine his game, it's exciting to imagine how he might further push the boundaries of offensive basketball as well. Now, what do you guys think of him? Do drop your views in the comment section below, like and subscribe this video, and we'll meet again in the next video.